So, yesterday's episode was about self awareness, and today's episode is going to be about overcoming self limiting beliefs. And this is going to be episode 6 of the Forever Getting Better podcast. And for the sake of continuity, I do want to point out that yesterday was in fact April 18th, and today's April 19th. So, anyway, the reason why I'm doing this episode is because I think it ties in nicely with yesterday's episode. I think one of the issues or problems with finding out more about ourselves is that we have the tendency to then eliminate some of the possibilities that exist for us. And so this is one of the things that's wonderful about children in particular. And if anyone has ever looked at my YouTube channel, which I think is that would be surprising if anyone has, and looked a decade in the past, about 10 years ago, actually, not to the day, but to the month for sure, there was a video that I put out where I talked about neuroplasticity and how it ties into behavioral psychology as well. So basically, neuroplasticity is basically the moldability the moldability of your brain and its ability to morph and change and adapt to things. And the younger you are, the more moldable and malleable your brain is and your brain matter is. And so it definitely is easier to do things from a scientific perspective as well as a psychological perspective to learn things. But here's the other thing when it comes to neuroplasticity is like, as long as you remain curious, right? Just like if you listened a couple episodes ago, I talked about the AMCC and how the AMCC is a muscle, right? And your ability to do like things you don't want to do for longer periods of time becomes easier and more sustainable as you continue to work your AMCC. It's the same thing when it comes to the plasticity of your brain. The more you, as well as creativity, like the more that you focus on learning new things and creating new ideas, and as long as you remain curious, the plasticity still remains. And so our ability to learn new things doesn't ever actually go away, but it does become more difficult as we shy away from things that are unfamiliar. So anyway, let's say that you are somebody who has taken the MBTI Myers-Briggs Type Indicator Assessment, and you ended up finding out that you're somebody that excels at dancing, right? Like, let's say that you end up being I think that would be like an ESTP, right? And so, or an ESFP. So an ESFP, aka the entertainer, would be somebody who excels when it comes to entertainment and the arts. They're a singer, dancer, very expressive, very emotional, very fun, very bubbly people. Well, just because you're that personality type doesn't make you incapable of someone who could sit still, have a poker face, focus on something that's logical, maybe even become someone who's good at like something like chess or something, So all I'm saying is that the possibility is there. And I think it's really important to acknowledge this because when it comes to anybody's walk in life, the fact is like, if you really want to succeed at anything, you're going to confront challenges that are, challenging. And if you're not prepared to do something that you're not used to doing, if you're not prepared to step out of your comfort zone, and if you're certainly not someone who's going to remain curious and simply try, then you've pretty much already failed. So I think it's pretty important for us to maintain a certain sense of curiosity, and maybe I don't think there's anything wrong with having a headstrong mindset saying, well, like, I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to overcome, I'm going to win. That's great. That's phenomenal. But if you're on the other end of the spectrum and you don't have that kind of willpower or confidence right out the gate, I think it's perfectly fine to say, well, the very least I can do is try. This may not seem likely to me, but I can actually give a legitimate effort. And I actually saw a quote earlier that I really liked. And it went something along the lines of the only real difference between winners and losers is that winners kept going. Like that's it, right? Like, winners persist until it becomes, now this is just me putting in my own thoughts, but essentially winners persist until it becomes unreasonable for them to lose or unreasonable for them to fail. And it's really just about how long can you do something, right? So like whether it applies to being a rapper or an artist or an entrepreneur or whatever, don't get me wrong, like there's definitely a certain amount of work that needs to be done. Like if you're not following the proper steps and you're not learning and adapting and growing, then that's also something to be considered. Like you can try to become a rapper, but if you're not learning more about rap and adapting your style and improving as a rapper, then that can also be something that limits your success. But like, let's say that you continue to improve in the art of rapping or whatever it is, over a long enough period of time, eventually it becomes unreasonable that you wouldn't become successful as a rapper. Right? So it's the same thing when it comes to entrepreneurship. It's the same thing when it comes to finding a significant other. Like if I'm someone who continually works on myself and works on my character, it then becomes unreasonable on a long enough time horizon for me to not find somebody who I'm compatible with, right? So, yeah, and we can keep going, but I think you get the gist. So yeah, as for, okay, well, how do I overcome these self-limiting beliefs? There is another Andrew Huberman episode where he talks a little bit. I actually made a TikTok out of this at one point, and I think I'm going to post it later today, April 19th, repost it. But essentially, he just talks about how whenever we're doing a task that is perceived as work, basically, or something that we don't want to do, it becomes like we need to accept that the entry into that task is going to come with feelings that are lousy, right? Like we're going to get a spark in cortisol. It's not going to be very good at the beginning. It's not going to feel very good at the beginning. It's going to feel really stressful, and that's okay. It's just something that we need to accept whenever we're stepping into anything unfamiliar or anything uncomfortable. Like if it were easy, then everybody would do it, right? If becoming a better version of yourself or the best version of yourself were easy, then everyone would be that way, right? So I think that's worth acknowledging. Yeah, this episode is super short. I know it's only been like a few minutes, a little over 5 minutes, and I really think that's going to be it for today. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about overcoming obstacles and overcoming self-improvement. I just think it's worth acknowledging that it's something that you can do, and understanding that willpower is a part of it, and really referencing the episodes before this one, the 2 episodes before this one, in conjunction, I think is what will help most of all. In the future, what I think I'm going to end up doing, and actually erase that, what I am going to do is take some of those older videos and those older concepts that I created a decade ago for YouTube. I'm going to redo those, and I may take that audio and put it on here. So we'll see about that. Anyway, this is going to be the end of the episode for today about overcoming obstacles and overcoming self-limiting beliefs. And while it was a short one, I do hope that it still provided some value to someone. All right. I will talk to y'all later.